So it's just finished then. Manchester City 3, Sunderland nil. You could say it's a bad day at the office. I mean, I don't think the world of football will be too surprised by the scoreline. I think Sunderland fans in general, Danny, were really worried about the bookings in the middle of the park. There was a significant booking at the end, but maybe not to the players that the fans feared, Danny.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was more than a booking, wasn't it? Like red card for Luke O'Nien on the pitch, what, 2, 3 minutes? It is a bit of a nasty one. You can't argue it. It is a red card. But yeah, if you're looking for the positives, as you say, Granit Xhaka and both Noah Siddiqui escaping a yellow card. Probably surprised that they played the length of the game in which they did. I think it was 70 odd minutes where they made way for a Dinger, I think it was, and Romain Mundle coming on. So they're obviously fit and ready to go next week, hopefully, against Newcastle. But yeah, overall, listen, it was a tough afternoon. The game panned out as you would expect. City having a lot of possession, 65% or so. We had 5 minutes or so in the first half, a half chance on the counter attack with Lefay. And then obviously the disappointing thing in that first half is the two goals we've conceded where Diaz picks it up 30 odd yards from goal, pulls the trigger. Decent strike, I think, comes off Dan Ballard, and maybe Robin Roofs would have got to it had it not have deflected off Ballard. And then obviously a few minutes later, set piece. I think it's Enzo Lefay that's got the duties of blocking Guardiola, doesn't really do enough. And it's a free header. He gets the run on our lads across the 6 yard line and powers it home. So, yeah, the goals you look at there are disappointing, even though for all the possession City had, I can't remember Erling Haaland touching the ball in that first half as well. So you keep him quiet. Obviously they've got quality in the likes of Doku on the left there, and Shirky is excellent as well off the other side. But yeah, we sort of contained them, and they didn't create too many opportunities in that first half.
Was that what you expected Sunderland to how you expected them to play, Danny? The way they were so deep controlled, and as you say, kept Haaland quiet. So the last thing you
Yeah,
expect is someone from back in their back line to come through with a goal like that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you think we're doing the hard work, all the work they'll do in training. We obviously went to a 5-4-1. We were pending for a lot of that first half. As I say, we had a couple of half chances on the counter attack where Lafayette went into the side netting, but it was a case of could City break us down? We frustrated them. We had a little bit of possession here and there, but then, as I said, there you're keeping Haaland quiet. He's not in the game, but then obviously set pieces are vital, and then obviously a centre half stepping into space, and we don't really get out and press him, and he pulls the trigger and it flies. He cuts across it, it flies into that top corner. A little nick off Dan Ballard, and Roofs can't get near it. And then a couple of minutes, you get onto set pieces, and I'm not a big fan of trying to get a little man to block one of the big centre backs. I think we're a big enough team where we can go Dan Ballard, Mukiele, and Alderete go and pick up, and then you still got the likes of Granit Xhaka, Isidore 6 foot plus coming back, but then Enzo Lefay doesn't do enough. It's too easy, and then Guardiola gets the run on him, and when he does, he comes powering in, and then as I say, 2-0, and it's a long way back against a quality Manchester City side.
Yeah, when we went 2-0 down, everyone where I was saying, right now, just get Xhaka and Siddiqui off the pitch. But they proved to be important players in the second half. And there was a point in the game, Danny, where it looked like we could have got it back into it.
It was, yeah. I was coming back out for the second half, and I was surprised, to be honest. I thought, he'd give it to half time. Then the sensible thing is, obviously, as you say, to bring them off because you don't want to lose them for next week with the yellow cards. But they came back out, and I'll just say the first effort, it's Wilson Isidore. He steals the ball off Ruben Diaz, edge of the box, 1-on-1, puts his laces through it. Give Donnarumma credit. He stands, he's a big keeper, isn't he? Makes himself big, makes the save. But it's a 1-on-1 situation. You score that, and then a couple of minutes later, again, it's Granit Xhaka actually at the far post, isn't it? That finds himself free. Decent strike, comes off the foot of the post. So in the space of a couple of minutes there, we could have been back on level terms at 2-2. And then after that, City go on and take control of the game, really. We made 4 or 5 changes, couldn't really get going again. And it was all about City, really, on the counter. And they created 1 or 2 half chances. A lovely one, the third one as well, Cherky, with a little bit of skill. But cheeky, really, stands it up for Foden, who gets free with a run on the header. And as you say, 3-0 then. And it's game over, isn't it? It's sort of, try and come out with it with a little bit of pride. And then give some lads minutes. Romain Mundle, a Dinger coming off the bench as well to get some minutes. And then obviously Luke, I think it was 88th, 89th minute, he comes on.
Yep.
Gets sold a little bit short with the pass from Enzo. He's a little bit on his heels. And then he lunges in, and it is a red card. The ref obviously gave him a yellow card, but then they've had a look at it back, and it's high. It's across his sort of the back of his calf, really, the side of his leg, and it's sad. Obviously for Luke getting some minutes at Anfield on Wednesday night, coming on for his Premier League debut for us, and again this evening. He'll be gutted in the change rooms only, so he'll obviously be out for 3 games, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to regroup.
Those games, Danny, will come thick and fast. Whereas when early in the season, when Ronaldo was sent off, that we seemed to take an eternity to be eligible again. At least because it's the festive period, and we'll be going to be needing bodies because of AFCON. It won't be too long until we see Luke again.
Yeah, possibly, and obviously Dennis Cirkin, he's been getting minutes in the 21s, hasn't he? So hopefully, Dennis will see that he's got to be building an opportunity for him in a couple of weeks as well, because Luke will be suspended, I think, obviously before Ronaldo gets away, only for AFCON. But yeah, I think obviously changed it a little bit. I think he went to a sort of 4-2-3-1. Truda went into midfield. Enzo came inside, and obviously bringing Adingra and Romain on the flanks. Robbie through the middle as well. So we tried to change it up, but as I say, the game was gone by then, and it's damage limitation, isn't it? You don't want to get on the bus with a 4-5 sort of 6 scoreline, really. So as disappointing as it is, we lick our wounds, and obviously we know we've got pretty much a full week now, haven't we, to prepare for the derby next weekend.
Yes, that's where we'll leave things, Danny. A big week ahead for Sunderland AFC as they meet against Newcastle at home next week. What's going to be going on at the academy this week? The players will be focused 100% finally on this fixture. And you've played in these massive games. You've won a famous game against Newcastle United. Will there be excitement? Will there be, a lot of anticipation within the dressing room, Danny, building up to this game on Sunday?
Yeah, there will. I mean, obviously, certainly from the fans now, that the disappointment will be out the window quick from this one, I think, and the focus, the build up the week. I've been there. I think I played in 4 or 5 derbies for the club, and I obviously know what it means for the fans and certainly for the players around the training ground during the week and the build up. And then obviously the game's on Sunday, isn't it? So you're looking when you get into Friday, maybe Reed just sort of names the team, and then you know whether you're in that starting 11 or not. And you just know what it means for obviously the fans and the rivalry between the two clubs. And yeah, they've had a win today, of course. They're a point behind us, so we're tight. We're neck and neck in the league, really. They've obviously got a game on Wednesday against Leverkusen in the Champions League as well. So maybe Eddie Howe will have to weigh up what he's thinking in terms of his team for the derby. But obviously, they've got to try and go and get a result against Leverkusen as well. So that benefits us. You would say they obviously got to go and play a midweek game where, as I said there, we've got a full week now to focus on it, rest up a little bit, go easy in a couple of days in training, see if there's any injuries in the camp there. Mukiele actually took one in the game. Dan Ballard went down, he caught one on his ankle as well. So hopefully these lads are okay. And then, as I say, there you build up for the week, and we get ready to go again.
Yes, we go again. A big week for Sunderland AFC. Danny, thanks as ever. Thanks for everyone for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll bring you some more of this content very soon.